Hello everyone, Goddess Allison here, and today I'm feeling compelled to make you all a video because lately there has been a stir in my neighborhood of the internet about a topic that may be very contemplative for many people. Oh, kitty. And I wanted to speak to this topic just for a little background. Here comes my neighbor Kitty. She wants to join in the discussion too. This discussion is about Agartha and surface humanity being invited to Agartha. So in May of 2018, which is my present time that I'm making this video right now, last week, Teresa Llanaros, who is a prominent person who posts on the Truth and Disclosure movement, she has a channel and a website called Divine Frequency, and she posted a dream that she had where a woman, it was a very vivid and visceral dream for her, where a woman invited her to come to the inner earth with the condition that she wouldn't see anyone on the surface again. And she wrote about this dream and put it on the internet, and then a couple days later, Cobra, who is also, I guess he's a resistance movement, kind of, I don't know, lifeline to the surface population, and claims to have contact with light beings and all kinds of people. I kind of know about Cobra. I don't follow him too closely. I'm not really invested in whether or not he's like the real deal or what, and I think I want to encourage everyone to use their own discernment and to use their own feelings about what they think about the information, but I'm just here to provide a perspective on a very vivid and visceral dream that I also had pertaining to being invited or taken to Agartha or taken underground to live. And it was about a year ago, and I was moving into a new place, and it was a really vivid dream, and I thought maybe it was just due to the stress and transition of moving, and now all this information is coming out, so I'm going to share this dream with you. I made posts about it. My kitty, well, my neighbor's kitty's knocking the camera around. I made posts about it on the internet that you can find, but I know YouTube reaches people in a different way, so I'm making this video. And in my dream, there was a woman. She was like a superhero video game woman character. It was nighttime, and she released something from a cave, and it blasted, it was like an energy ball or something, and it blasted up to the moon and killed the cabal and sent a wave back to Earth, and kind of like made everybody, I don't know, peaceful and enlightened. It could have been the sun, I don't know, it could have been a sunblast, but I remember in my dream anyway, it happened at nighttime, and I remember somehow I knew that this was going on, and watching the woman do this, and the moon turned red at nighttime. And then the next day, the moon was still up, like in the morning, in the daytime, and it was red. The moon was just like bright, fiery red. And it was on the news, it was all over the news, like it was the only thing on the news, even though the news wasn't really like the corporate controlled news media anymore, and it was trying to explain to people what was going on, and there was a lot of speculation and a lot of course, fear and just uncertainty about what had happened to our moon. And everyone thought the apocalypse was coming and didn't know what was going on, but you know, the shadow aspect of our world was now kind of dead and gone, and we weren't as influenced by it anymore, but it was still residual left over, and many people on the surface of the earth are ignorant about what is actually happening, what is actually going on. But if you follow disclosure movement information like I do and I watch Gaia TV, then you might have a little more of a glimpse about what's happening in those realms. So in my dream, like everyone's talking on the internet now about the event, what's going to happen, when's the event going to happen, when you know, something. But in my dream, that was the moon turning all red was kind of like an event that we all knew something was going on, and maybe the apocalypse. People thought it was the apocalypse, even though no one was really in any real danger. They were just all going berserk and crazy. And airplane. They were all going crazy because the moon was red, but nobody was actually in any real danger. They were just going berserk. That's all I could say in my dream. And because I knew in my dream, because I knew what was actually going on, what was actually happening, I was being given the opportunity to go to like a safe place underground during the chaos, and then come back later to help people when things had calmed down. And I knew that a lot of people were gonna die. It wasn't like anyone was trying to convince me that it was gonna happen. And I was taken to an abandoned warehouse, like abandoned building type place, big building in my city, and I was only allowed to carry a few special things from my life, a few like sentimental possessions. And I ran in to the building like holding my stuff, and ran into the building with, I would just describe them as strangers who seemed like friends. I mean, they were people that we knew were there to like take us to this underground safe place, and somehow I had known beforehand that this was going to happen to me. Like, I knew beforehand that I was going to have to make this decision to go to a safe place or not, and in my dream, I decided to go for whatever reason. And we ran into the building, and I was taken underground, and then the next sort of part of my dream that I remember was being underground in the place that we were allowed to live, like in the area that we were living, and everything was there that we needed for a healthy, happy, comfortable life. All the technology, all the food, all of the just everything, comforts that we needed and more, like beyond our wildest dreams. Things, you know, we were doing things and living in certain ways that we couldn't have on the surface. And there were some people down there who were also in my life that I have now, and but I was kind of sad that they weren't all there. We weren't all there to, like, you know, be with each other, and I was having a lot of regret because I hadn't done more to tell humanity about the safe place, even though I had known about it ahead of time, and I knew that I was gonna be given an opportunity to go to the safe place during the chaos and then come back and help people when things had calmed down, to be there to help humanity like rebuild again or something. I don't know. But in my dream, I was having some guilt that I was down in this awesome, safe, cool place, and I hadn't even directly told people, like my own family. Like, I had left my mother behind on the surface. I hadn't told anyone that was my own family even, or my close friends, about the safe place and, you know, the underground. I guess we are calling it Agartha. So, I wished in my dream, I wished that I had done more to let people know, and I knew that there was nothing that I could have done more or have done better or would have done differently if I were to go back and do it all over again and make the same choice or not. And when we were in the underground place, a lot of people were still thinking, like, is this a trick? Is it an illusion? And I think that's something that's coming up for people now with Teresa's information. Like, oh, it sounds like a big trick for the cabal to just trick us into, you know, all of the light workers into, like, you know, stashing them away someplace. And then Cobra talking about the protocols that would happen if we were invited to go to Agartha. And when I was in my dream, I remember some people still even believed, or they didn't believe, but they thought, is this a trick? Are we being tricked still? And at the same time, we were in so much bliss and joy and happiness that we didn't have to go to work anymore and make money, and everything, and we were being encouraged at our own abilities and at where we were at with our own creativity to do what we wanted, that we didn't care if it was a trick. And we knew that we would have to go back someday and check on people, check on our family and our friends that were left up there to see who was still alive and help them put their lives back together. So after my dream, right before I moved to this new place in my life here, I kind of thought I was going a little crazy because I was like, well, what if that kind of happens in real life? And not that it would or nothing, you know, it's what I thought, but I better have all my things ready to go in case I need to leave quickly in a hurry, because I was getting a sense that if I was asked to go, I'd go in a hurry. I'd have to, you know, if there's like a fire in your building and you have to get out quickly, that's kind of the sense of urgency that was in my dream about leaving or going for some reason. So I was thinking, well, if I have to go somewhere in a hurry and just take only what I need, what I feel is special to me, that I wouldn't want from a replicator, because I was getting this sense even outside of my dream while I was going through my day that I couldn't forget to like gather my possessions, you know, the ones that I would consider taking somewhere that I wouldn't want out of a replicator because they don't hold the same energy signature. So I had them all in a corner of my room before I moved, and then I thought I was going a little cuckoo, so I just totally forgot about it after I moved until Teresa's dream came up and Cobra's information came out. But somehow I still like had the sense that I needed to know in my room where everything was that I would want to grab in, you know, in a split second to take somewhere to go. And I thought, you know, am I going bozo, like if the apocalypse comes and I have to grab my things and get out and go like camp somewhere and the city's dangerous or something. But I didn't really think of it as a big deal or like as a prominent thing, and I would forget about it. Every once in a while I'd forget that I had this weird sentimental possession gathering urge, and it would pop up again and I'd be reminded of it, but I'd kind of be like, oh, it's such a weird idea, this is kind of crazy, go away. But I kind of feel like someone or something was trying to remind me, hey, it's really important that you don't forget that you need to do this. So that's just like my story about my Agartha dream, my vivid Agartha dream, and people in the community or reading this information, or if you're new to the information, you can take what you want from it and leave the rest. And if you're presented with a situation someday where you're being invited to go to the inner earth for whatever reason, I encourage you to take some contemplative, meditative time beforehand to think about that decision for yourself, because only you know best for your life and what you would want to do in that situation and for what reasons. And I've kind of made some tricks in my head to make sure that I would know if it was a person, you know, actually from Agartha, not just some trick of the shadow government or something that people are talking about, that they would trick us all into just leaving. But so that I would know if the time came for me to decide that I was actually being invited to the inner earth. So blessings to all of you, and I hope that you found that insightful and giving you something to think about in your mind's gears and your juices about what would I do if I was invited to go to Agartha. So have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day. Bye-bye.